When Giants Walked the Earth, The Real Apostolic Succession by Viola. But whatever I am now, it is all because God poured out His special favor on me, and not without results. For I have worked harder than any of the other apostles. Yet it was not I, but God, who was working through me by His grace. Approximately 1 Corinthians 15:10 NLT. On August 4th, 2024, I woke up thinking about apostolic succession according to the New Testament. Historically, apostolic succession is a method by which some Christian churches claim that their origins were derived from the original 12 apostles in a continuous succession. The Anglicans, Roman Catholics, Eastern Orthodox, etc. all have a tradition of apostolic succession. Each denomination traces their roots back to the original 12. The New Testament story does contain a concept of apostolic succession, but it's nothing like what's claimed in these denominations. Last month, I wrote about how God raises up Christian workers, and I followed it up with a free ebook that explains what the apostolic ministry is and does. If you didn't see those articles, check your email folders or the blog where every article I've written can be accessed. Here's what apostolic succession looks like according to the New Testament. The first apostle, Jesus. Hebrews calls him an apostle, explained in episode number 103 of the Insurgents podcast. Among other things, Jesus was sent by his Father to raise up the first kingdom community on earth, made up of 12 men and about 7 women. The word apostle means one who is sent. Jesus passed the baton on to the 12. The first generation of apostolic workers after Jesus, the 12 Peter, John, James, Andrew, Nathaniel, etc. After the 12 were sent by Jesus, they raised up the kingdom community in Jerusalem. The 12 passed the baton on to Stephen, Barnabas, and Silas. The second generation of apostolic workers, Stephen, his life cut short, Barnabas, Silas. Barnabas had in a hand in laying the foundation for the kingdom community in Antioch of Syria. Both Barnabas and Silas, at different times, partnered together and raised up kingdom communities in South Galatia and Greece. Barnabas passed the baton on to Paul of Tarsus. The third generation of apostolic workers, Paul, a unique apostle who was untimely born, 1 Corinthians 15:8 ESV. Paul raised up kingdom communities in South Galatia, Greece, Asia Minor, Rome, and possibly Spain. Paul trained workers in Ephesus and passed the baton on to them. The fourth generation of apostolic workers, Timothy, Titus, Aristarchus, Secundus, Sopater, Gaius, Tychicus, Trophimus, Epaphras. These men preached the gospel of the kingdom and raised up kingdom communities all throughout the Gentile world, then passed the baton on to every apostolic worker after them. All of the people I've mentioned above were giants who once walked the earth. Today, the earth is in desperate need of a new breed of Christian workers who are firebrands on the planet, making the world take note and watching hell retreat. Workers who are willing to experience the life of the body of Christ as simple believers rather than having a lust to be leaders. Workers who are humble enough to be trained by an older worker who has a rich heritage, who knows the Lord deeply, who has experienced the self-emptying work of the cross, who has been through blood up to the horse's bridle, and who knows by experience what it takes to raise up the house of God. That brings us to the next generation, the fifth generation of apostolic workers, all who have come after the fourth generation, perhaps including some of you who are reading this now or in the future. If so, go back to the previous articles, especially the way God raises up workers on the blog. I wrote those articles for you and for all of God's people who are interested in the restoration of first things. If you sense God's call or you are currently involved in ministry, you may want to join us for the next Insurgents Experience IXP Mastermind. Just apply. For more, go to frankvio.org.